difference between a tithe and an offering is, the word tithe literally means a tenth. It means giving back 10% of the money God's given to you back to him as a way to show him gratitude for what he's doing in your life. And then an offering, it would be anything that's above and beyond a tithe. God established that the church should be funded through tithes and offerings, and that's one of the ways we give back to God is by supporting our local church. It definitely requires a step of faith to be willing to tithe and give 10% of your income, but I promise you, anyone who does it will tell you it's one of the best decisions they ever made. And, a lot of us who do, we started, I can speak for myself anyway, I started small and started gradually building up my offering over time until I got to 10%. And so maybe that's something you might consider. In 1 Corinthians 4, verse 2, it says, a person who is put in charge as a manager must be found faithful. Some translations say a steward must be found faithful. A manager or a steward is basically somebody who's put in charge of something that belongs to someone else. They're not the owner, but they're responsible for managing and taking care of this resource in a way that the owner expects them to. The Bible's pretty clear that God created the world and everything in it, and everything belongs to him. And so that means I don't really own anything. Everything that I have belongs to God. He's given me some things to be in charge of and responsible for while I'm here on this earth. Things like the car I drive, the house I live in, the money in my bank account, the job that I go to. That all belongs to him. Even my family. I have kids, but those are his children. I have a wife, and that's God's daughter. And he's given me that family, and he expects me to take care of them in a way that he approves of. So when I look at the world and my life that way, I realize that every dollar that I have has a responsibility attached to it. When I tithe, I'm not giving God 10% of my money. I'm giving him back 10% of what he's given me, and he's allowing me to keep and manage the other 90% in a way that he expects me to, and that's a big responsibility. So as ushers come forward and we prepare to receive our offering, I would ask everyone to prepare your hearts and just remember that we're not here today graciously giving God back some of our money. We're giving him back some of the money he's given us. Giving is an act of worship and obedience and reverence to our Creator. Let's pray.